You're heading out on a voyage of exploration to two of our furthest flung islands. Westray and Papa Westray are communities with a strong sense of their own identity, islands with their own very distinctive personalities. If you haven't already succumbed, Papi and Westray are places where you're sure to catch the island bug, the addictive feeling you get in places where you can unwind and forget the hustle and bustle of high-speed 21st century life. On your journey, you'll find yourself wondering about life out in the Isles. Islands where families can trace their roots back over many generations. Islands where crime is almost unheard of. Islands where you'll discover a strong sense of community lost in so many places today. The sea and the land have always provided a rich harvest for islanders, and today fishing and farming continue to be the mainstay of island life. You'll meet folk who make a living for the land and the sea among the men and women you'll encounter when you take the craft and heritage trail around Westray and Papi. They're an inspiring place to live, as you'll discover. A place where tradition and new ideas combine in the minds of some of the most talented craftsmen and women you're likely to meet anywhere. Chairs like this are unique to Orkney and have been made by islanders for hundreds of years. Black oats, once grown throughout the islands, are still sown in Westray each year for the straw that's used to form the backs. Jimmy Fergus has been practising the ancient craft for more than 30 years. He's lost count of the number of chairs he's painstakingly crafted, but each has become an instant heirloom for customers from around the world. Jimmy's proudest achievement in recent times has been to pass on the skills and secrets of the craft to a new generation of chairmakers. Edith Costy can remember having blisters on her blisters as she mastered the art. Today, like Jimmy and the rest of the folk on the craft and heritage trail, she'd be delighted if you dropped in to see her at work.
It's hard work, and I mean it takes a long time. It takes about an hour to do an inch on the back. It takes about 50 hours altogether to do the back. And the cleaning, you've got to clean the straw first before you start, and it's very time consuming, but it is very satisfying.
A little time in Westray and Papi, and you'll begin to sense how the landscapes, the colours and the natural heritage of the islands inspire both visiting artists and those blessed with the talent to produce the art and craft work you'll find along the trail. Jenna Hume was born and grew up in Westray. Like her sister Lisa, she left the island to study art at college on the Scottish mainland. Both yearned to return to their native Westray, and today they produce a range of interior textiles that reflect their flair for design and their strong sense of identity with their native island.
To live in the environment that you were brought up in and actually be working, doing something that you really enjoy and you were trained for, it's a complete bonus. Well, you just have to look out the window today, see the blue skies, the sea, the sand, the colours of the landscape. I think every day it changes, depending on the weather. The inspiration is there continuously. It's part of you. The colours that you're grown up with is part of you, and therefore it makes, an easy palette to work with.
At Hume Sweet Hume in Peerowell, the sisters both produce and display their work. That's a pattern you'll find repeated along the craft trail. When you call in at the Wheelingstein Gallery, you mightn't guess at first that Edwin Rendell's main occupation is as a farmer. Take a closer look at his work, though, and see through his eyes the landscapes that have surrounded him during a life spent in Westray. People have lived in these islands for countless generations. The well-preserved houses at the Nap of Howard in Papi are the oldest known homes in Northern Europe. They were built almost 6,000 years ago. Spend a day or two travelling around Westray and Papi, and you'll start to spot familiar faces. Geordie Thompson, like many islanders, has a number of jobs. Geordie is part of the crew on the small ferry that provides a link between the two islands. He's also a skillful jeweller. Like all craft work produced in the islands, his pieces are hand-finished and produced to the very highest standards of design and quality. Geordie's converted an old croft house into one of the workshops and galleries on the Craft and Heritage Trail. See him at work here, and admire the pieces he creates when he isn't working on the land and the sea. Take a walk if you want to truly experience the natural beauty of Poppy and Westray. You'll know you've gone down with the island bug when you feel disappointed not to have the beach all to yourself. Enjoy the feeling that time is passing a little more slowly than normal, and take time to enjoy the astonishing wealth of wildlife you'll find all around you. When you're walking in Poppy, look out for the Daybreak Gallery of Island Arts and Crafts. A telltale sign that you've arrived could be a lamb grazing in the garden, or more likely, a line of washing made up entirely of socks. These, though, are no ordinary socks. They've been knitted to last, anything up to 10 years, by Margit Fassbender. Margit, who's moved to Poppy from Germany, has discovered that visitors particularly admire socks inspired by the colours of the puffins that nest around our shores. Her home is at Daybreak, and she's one of a number of craftspeople for the island whose work is on show at the gallery. Among them is Margit's husband, Hartmut. The lathe he works on was built in 1932, and this piece of precision engineering is both his pride and a joy to work with. Westray and Poppy are both home to seabird cities, vast colonies of kittiwakes, fulmars, guillemots and razorbills. Find out more about the natural heritage of the islands and the history of life here over the centuries at the Westray Heritage Centre in Pirowell. There are hands-on displays to enjoy. A visit to the centre will enrich your stay in the islands. Westray and Poppy are islands of inspiration. Enjoy your journey and prepare to come under their spell.